Welcome back to Focus Empire. Today, we are stepping into dangerous territory. We are breaking down a law that contradicts everything you've ever been taught since childhood. From a young age, we are told to cherish friends, to trust them, and to build alliances based on affection. But the ruthless world of power operates on a completely different set of rules in his masterpiece, The 48 Laws of Power. Robert Greene drops a psychological bombshell in Law Number 2. It states, never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. Take a moment to let that sink in. Your friends are more dangerous than your enemies. To most people, this sounds cynical, maybe even evil. But to the architects of empires, this is pure survival. In this 15-minute masterclass, we will uncover why friendship can ruin a business, how envy destroys partnerships from the inside out, and most importantly, how your worst enemy can become your most powerful tool for success. Grab your notebook, focus your mind, and let's dismantle Law Number 2. To see the fatal danger of trusting a friend, we must travel back to the 9th century, to the heart of the Byzantine Empire. Meet Emperor Michael III. He was a young ruler who needed someone he could trust completely to help him govern. He found that person in a young man named Basilius. Basilius was originally a poor peasant, but he saved the emperor's life from a wild horse. Grateful and deeply moved, Michael raised Basilius from poverty. He gave him wealth, the best education, and eventually made him his co-emperor. Michael trusted Basilius completely. They ate together, slept in the same palaces, and shared every secret. Michael thought he had created the ultimate loyal friend. But Michael forgot a fundamental rule of human nature: gratitude wears off, but ambition remains. As Basilius grew more powerful, he stopped feeling grateful. Instead, he began to feel resentful. Every time he looked at Michael, he was reminded that he owed everything to this man. It hurt his pride. He wanted the empire all to himself. One night, after a long evening of drinking, Michael III fell asleep in his chamber. Basilius walked into the room, backed by a group of soldiers, and brutally assassinated the very friend who had rescued him from the mud. Basilius took the throne for himself. Michael's ultimate mistake wasn't being weak. It was hiring a friend and believing that affection could replace strategic power. Now, let's look at the flip side of this law. If friends are dangerous, how can an enemy be useful? For this, we look to ancient China, to Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. Taizong did something radically different from other rulers. When emperors won a civil war, they usually executed all the generals and ministers who fought against them. But Taizong refused to do that. He knew that if he hired his friends, they would become lazy and entitled. Instead, he looked for his most capable enemies. There was a brilliant minister named Wei Jing, who had fought fiercely for Taizong's rival and had even tried to have Taizong killed. When Taizong won the war, instead of executing Wei Jing, he made him his chief advisor. Wei Jing was shocked. Because he knew his life was on the line, he worked harder than anyone else. He was brutally honest with the emperor, never flattering him, always pointing out mistakes to keep him sharp. Wei Jing had everything to prove, and because of that, he became one of the greatest ministers in Chinese history. Emperor Taizong famously said that with Wei Jing as his mirror, he could see his own faults clearly. By using an enemy, Taizong built one of the most prosperous golden ages in human history. So, let's break down the psychology. Why does friendship fail in the arena of power and business? Robert Greene highlights 3 specific psychological triggers. First, the poison of envy. It is a harsh truth, but it is much harder for a friend to watch you succeed than it is for a stranger. When you promote a friend or hire them into your business, you change the dynamic of equality. Suddenly, you are the boss, and they are the employee. This triggers hidden envy. They think, why them and not me? We used to be equals. This envy grows in silence, and it manifests as passive aggression, slacking off, and eventually betrayal. Second, the blindness of affection. When you work with friends, you naturally overlook their mistakes. You don't want to hurt their feelings, so you don't criticize them. This breeds incompetence. A business or an empire cannot survive on soft feelings. It survives on raw efficiency. Third, the trap of entitlement. Friends often believe that because they know you personally, they don't have to work as hard. They expect favors, leniency, and special treatment. They feel entitled to your success. An enemy, however, expects nothing. They know they are on thin ice, so they work with maximum effort to earn your trust. Here at Focus Empire, we don't just study history, we apply it to build our future. How do you implement law number 2 in your life today without becoming completely isolated? Here is your blueprint. Step 1. Keep business and friendships strictly separate. If you are starting a company, hiring for a project, or looking for a partner, do not look at your friend circle first. Look for competence, skill, and track records. If you must work with a friend, establish clear, professional boundaries and contracts from day one. Make it clear that in the office, the friendship does not exist. Step 2. Cultivate valuable enemies. Don't be afraid of competition or critics. In fact, seek them out. If someone is a fierce competitor in your niche, look for ways to collaborate or learn from them. An enemy who wants to prove themselves to you will do 100 times more work than a friend who thinks they are doing you a favor. Step 3. Appreciate the honest critic. Surround yourself with people who judge you based on your results, not your personality. The person who challenges your ideas and forces you to sharpen your arguments is far more valuable to your empire than the friend who nods and agrees with everything you say just to keep you happy. In the grand game of life and career, your enemies define your boundaries, while your friends can blind you to your vulnerabilities. Never let emotion dictate your strategy. Learn to love your enemies for the clarity they give you, and guard your trust with your life. Thank you for tuning in to this extended masterclass on Focus Empire. Our mission is to give you the mental tools to build your mindset, your career, and your empire. If this breakdown of law number 2 opened your eyes, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth. And leave a comment below. Have you ever experienced a friend letting you down in business, or an enemy turning into a great ally? Let's discuss it below. Stay focused, stay sharp, and we will see you in the next video. Out.